It can feel like a never-ending cycle of past due bills, high interest rates, and even collection calls. You want a way out, but most companies only deal with certain kinds of debt or offer quick fixes and even dangerous solutions that can destroy your credit and put you right back where you started. At Family Credit Management, we do things differently. First, we'll review your credit report to access who and what you owe. Then, we'll create a repayment plan that's in budget, lowers interest, and eliminates fees. We'll give you a roadmap out of debt once and for all by consolidating all your unsecured debt from all your creditors in our debt management program. You pay us once a month, and we work with your creditors to take care of the rest. For over 20 years, we've been helping clients get back on track to financial independence. Now it's your turn. Get your free quote today. Debt.
Hey, again, this is Letitia Griffin. We are back another week. Welcome. We're here to talk to you about all types of questions or issues that you may have going on with your debt, with your finances, anything that's related to finances you have questions or problems on, feel free to call in. Over the next 25-30 minutes or so, we're here to give you those answers. You can reach us at 312-738-1060. Now, in the event that you do not get the opportunity to call in, I do want you to know that Family Credit is a resource that is here for you. So you can reach out to Family Credit directly at 800-994-3328. You can speak with a certified counselor. You can get some help. You can go online and chat with a counselor at familycredit.org, and that's the website. So I want you to use that. Again, it's a resource. I know that a lot of times people need help or you don't know where to go for help, and that's just one of the great resources that are available. So feel free to reach out and use that as needed. I do want to let you know, I always try and bring some resources that are available, and if there's something that I know of that can help you or help those in need, I do want to put that out there. So right now, there is an emergency heating program, emergency heating repair program available throughout the city of Chicago. They're taking applications. It started on November 1st, so from November 1st to April 1st. And they're taking applications. Of course, you do have to meet an income requirement. But what will happen is if you qualify and you live in your home, you qualify as far as your income, you meet the income guidelines for this program. What they are looking to do is to come out and service, repair, or replace your furnace or your hot water system. So this is a really great program that's running throughout the city of Chicago. So I wanted to let you know about that first. If you need more details about it, or you want to find out more information, find out if you qualify, feel free to reach out to the Department of Human Services, or you can call 311 and get the information from there. So I do want to let you know that that program is open. They're looking for people that they can help. So you do want to see if you can get qualified for that and get some help getting your hot water heater or your furnace replaced, because right now it's that time of year. Sometimes, once the weather starts turning, things go bad and we don't know what to do. So that's a great resource. Want to let you know that it's out there, and you can contact 311 to get more information about that. Now, that's also the time of year where we get to start thinking about the holidays and what we're going to be doing for the holidays. And of course, we talked last week a lot about stress that's related to the holidays and spending. And so we want to touch on that just briefly and look at some things that you can do to relieve that stress. Also, again, feel free to reach out to a counselor if you've got questions about stress or dealing with your finances, because those counselors are on standby and they can help. So, looks like we've got our first caller to the show. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, so I was looking at my credit report and some of my accounts say they're charged off. Do I still have to pay those?
That's a really good question, because if an account is charged off, you are still responsible. You are still liable for that debt. Charged off does not mean that you don't have to pay it. It just means that the creditor does not think that they're going to get paid anytime soon. And so what they're doing is they were taking it off their book as a collectible asset, or as an account that they think they're going to get money on and continually make money off of, and they are putting it on the other side. Now, they're still going to try and collect on it. You still owe them. So you'll most likely start getting notices from collection agencies, or you may get some attorney correspondence. Whatever it is, you just do need to make sure that you pay attention to that, and you still do need to pay that. Come across a lot of people that think, hey, because an account's charged off, I don't have to pay it. So I do want to let you know, you really still are responsible. And sometimes, though, people fail to realize that on certain accounts there's something called the statute of limitations, and what that actually does is it gives you a time frame that a creditor is able to collect actively on a debt, and usually where we are, it's about 7 years for that statute of limitations. Now, again, if you were to go to that creditor in the future, or go to that, if it's a utility company or phone company, or just try and get another credit card, if you were to do something with that company in the future, 9 times out of 10, they will have you repay that old debt. And sometimes we see that even happen in something like a cable bill. You may have had an old bill with them, but before they give you new service, you do have to pay that old bill. So sometimes a lot of those bills and debts, they do follow you. Want to make sure that you are taking care of that, and that you are looking at getting all of that information squared away. So keep those questions coming, though, because a lot of people need help with their finances and debt and don't know where to go to help. So that's what we're here for. Again, we were talking a little bit, just touching really briefly about the holiday season, and we see sales going on in the area. We see advertisements, online advertisements, and I hope you shop the sales. And if you shop them, you've saved some money, you made money smart choices, and you were wise with your spending. So want to make sure you keep an eye on your budget constantly, and you do not want to spend more than you actually bring in, because that's where we fall into trouble. So we want to look at what are some of those drains during the holiday season that are on our budget. And a lot of times we have a lot of invisible drains on our finances that we don't even pay attention to. So what are some of those invisible drains that we need to be aware of? What about, anybody thought about this? How much food that we waste in the course of a week, or even the course of the day? A lot of times we may eat something, we may buy something, we overspend on groceries. A lot of times we're eating out, and a lot of times we don't even realize how much we're wasting. And every time we waste something, guess what? That's money that goes down the drain with it. Now, there was a survey that was put out last year that said that, on average, people waste 40% of the food that they actually purchase. 40%. That's almost half of the food that we purchase that we end up throwing away. And we don't even think about that. That is money down the drain. So once we think about what we're doing, a lot of times we can use that to change our behavior, or to make sure that we do improve on certain things. So think about that. We want to make sure that we're watching our budget, looking for those invisible drains, such as food wasting. Other things that we don't even look at that drain our budget and leave us high and dry for the holidays, not only shopping, but guess what? We have to pay attention to the bank fees that we are paying, or service fees that are out there too that we don't even pay attention to. Now, I say service fees because it's not just only bank fees. A lot of times we use different products and services, and we don't realize how much extra that's costing as well. Sometimes we may go to a different vendor, or someone, they only take money, or you can only pay a certain way, but if you use your credit card, it costs you more. They put that charge onto you. You want to pay attention to that. Some places will offer discounts just for you using cash too. Then we think about bank fees aren't just really overdraft fees or NSF fees, because those do drain us. But guess what? a lot of banks will have a service fee that we're not paying attention to, a monthly fee. On our credit cards, there are membership fees that we're not even thinking about at a certain time of the year. We think we've paid that balance down, and guess what? You got another annual fee popping right up. Some credit cards, they charge a monthly fee. You want to pay attention to that too. How do you get out from under that? You need to pay attention to it and be able to call those creditors, call those lenders, and see what you can do to get around that fee, or see if there's another service you can use that doesn't charge anything. And also pay attention to other products that are out there, like some of the prepaid cards that are out. A lot of times people give gift cards during the holidays too. But stop and think, does that gift card charge a fee for that? Sometimes they'll charge you $4.95 to activate it. Sometimes they'll charge you more. Sometimes they'll charge the person that's using the card every time they use it or every time they check their balance. So you just want to know what you're getting yourselves into and make sure that you're saving money, because it does sound nice to get a $25 gift card, but if you've got to pay $8 in fees just to use it, you could have went with something else. So think about that. Another thing that we want to think about is how we actually use our services and energy, our utilities, and making sure that we're keeping those bills that we get as low as humanly possible. And pay attention to the way that you use energy and that you conserve. We think about our light bills a lot of times, or our gas bill, and how they fluctuate throughout the year. Certain periods where it's colder outside, we're using more heat. Where it's when we're using more light in certain seasons as well. So think about that and look at some things. When you leave the house, are you leaving things plugged up? That actually drains your bill. It adds more to your bill as well. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Yeah, my utilities are pretty high, and I'm trying to reduce my expenses. Do you have any suggestions on lowering my utility bills?
Well, we were just talking about that as well. So when you're looking at lowering your utilities, keep in mind, first thing you want to do is make sure you're paying attention to your bill. See if there's anything on there that they are charging you for. And some utility companies do. They charge us for things that we don't need. Even with the phone companies, cell phone bills, our utility companies aren't by themselves. We've got our cable bills. They're charging us for services that we may not even be using. You can look at different ways to cut down the spending. You can call them and see about getting on the budget plan. If you're on the budget plan, you want to see, okay, talk to them. Say, hey, what can I do to make my bill less? Then also keep in mind that some utility companies have peak periods too. You can find out when they charge more for you using their services. So that means that you may need to call them, see what their peak periods are when you know that they're charging more. Let's say if their peak hours are from 1 to 5 every single day, you know not to wash during that time because it's going to cost you more money. See what you can save. And sometimes they offer incentives for you using those programs too. So it's always a great idea. Pay attention to your bills. See what services you can cut out. See what you're being charged for. Know the difference. And ask about different ways to reduce what you're spending each month. And then pay attention to your own daily habits. Look at, like I said, we were just talking about looking at, walk before you leave the house, walk around one time and see if there's anything that's plugged up that shouldn't be. Anything left plugged up in your house and you're going to be away, it's going to cost you money. If you're going to be away for an extended period of time, that's going to cost you even more. So be smart with your money and look at those things and ways that you can save money and make your budget work for you. So those are some great tips and ideas. Thanks for calling with that question. Another thing we want to think about is any types of subscriptions and memberships that we have going on as well. And nowadays, subscription services are popping up in different forms. You may have noticed, yes, we all felt like we were paying too much for cable. So a lot of people got rid of the cable and they switched to subscription services instead. What does that mean? There became a rise in Netflix. There's a rise in YouTube, all these online streaming systems. And what we're noticing is that those streaming systems right now, they're no longer free, or they've increased their prices lately. When Netflix first came out, I'm sure it's like $4.99 every single month. Now we're looking at something way more than that, depending on also how many people you have added on. So look at some of those subscription services. They may even be offering the same thing. Do you have a subscription service for Netflix or Hulu? And also, do you have like HBO? Sometimes the cable networks will offer their own. You've got Bravo. All of those things, subscription services that stack up each and every single month. It's not just magazines anymore, but our streaming services are like that. Look at Xbox has their own streaming service as well, where they offer a monthly fee. So you want to make sure that you're doing what works with your budget, because you don't want to have to cut out cable thinking that you're cutting out $200 a month only to get like $300 a month worth of subscription services. So again, weigh your options, weigh what your lifestyle requires or what you need and what you want. You can throw in a few wants as well, and make sure your budget works for you. So look into those subscription services, make sure you're not overdoing it and that you can handle it comfortably. Also, you want to pay attention to the time of month that those things are actually billing to, because you want to make sure that you have the money in your account to make sure that you aren't causing those overdrafts or other unnecessary bank fees, which are also draining our wallets. So that's something else that we can think about. And we want to pay attention to the price creeping, or something out there that's called price creeping. And it's when we buy something for one price, but we notice over time that price is going up. I gave one example of Netflix, but there are so many others out there. We just want to make sure that we're conscious about our spending and those things, money drainers that can empty our wallet. Now, if you need some help, like I said, you can go to Family Credit's website, and they are available at familycredit.org, and they will be able to send you a copy of Personal Finance Made Easy, and you can call and you can request that, or you can go to the website actually, and there's a spot for you to go to the website, familycredit.org. Let's see if we can take a look at that really quickly. This is a website that I want you to go to, and on here you can actually request, look, you can take a shot at knowing how much you know about debt. So this website is great for that. But go down to the bottom, Personal Finance Made Easy, 100 Small Ways to Save Big. This guy will actually save you some money, and it's just what we're talking about with those money drainers on our wallet that really, really, really play into our budget and drain our finances and stress us out. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, do you have any questions or any suggestions on how not to overspend at Christmas?
So really, when you think about Christmas, we all do it. Sometimes we overspend, but we really need to sit down before we start spending anything and establish a budget, a conscious budget that we are aware of, and where we can say, okay, I know for a fact I am not going to go over this amount of money. And you need to stick with it. That's the best way for you to make sure that you do not overspend. Now, for some of us, we're visual. We can say all day long that this is the amount, but unless we actually see it, then we may overspend. So in that case, if you want, you can just take that money out and have that, put it in an envelope, and know that that's your spending. This is what you are spending. You can go over it, and once the envelope is empty, that's it, nothing else. But you do want to create a budget for spending for the holidays. Another thing you want to do is you want to know all the people that you plan on purchasing items for, that you want to buy for, any gifts that you want to buy. You need to make sure that you have those people laid out. No popping someone up at the last minute. Oh, I forgot this person, I forgot that person. You need to sit down ahead of time. Make sure you know who all is included in your list. Anybody else that you miss, then most likely you can get away with doing a value pack of holiday cards, and make sure you give them a card. And for some people, that may be all that they want anyway. You have to also know who you're buying for, because sometimes people, it's not necessarily the gift that they want, but they want to know that they are thought about, they are loved. So you can look at doing some things like that. Once we've got our budget set, we never really want to go over that budget, and you want to make sure that you're spending within your means. Now, determine the amount of people that you're looking at. You still want to make sure that you show them that you care. That's what it's all about, showing them that you care, right? Not so much about spending the big bucks, making sure you get the best gifts, but making sure that you give from your heart. And that is the number one thing that you want to remember in the holiday season. Don't go crazy, don't go overboard. There are some really, really creative ideas, some things that you can do, some websites that you can use. I know everyone should be familiar with Pinterest or just doing a Google search on some creative ideas to show people that you love them. And it does not require that you spend a whole lot. Think about it. Use your creativity. For someone that may love to stay at home and read a book, there's some really great things you can do there. You can look at some of the discounted stores that are out there as well and stock up. Do some bulk shopping, stock up and spread it out. You get a huge box of hot chocolate mix, a couple of chocolate pieces to throw in something, and you tie it up. And that's probably, you're out $1 max for that. And you want to spread it out. Make sure if you get a box of hot chocolate that's got like 10 or 20 in it, that's enough for you to cover 10 or 20 people at one time. And you've budgeted. And you probably out maybe like a few bucks at max for something like that. But again, it's making sure that you put your own creative touch on it, that your own personal touch on it to make that person feel loved. So make sure you keep that in mind too. Not necessarily about, shopping big, but making sure that you show that you care, do it creatively, do it on your budget, stick with it, because there's so many other things out there that you can do as well to show people that you care. And so make sure that you're staying within your budget. Again, if you need some ideas, if you need some help, you can go online and look at Family Credit's website at 100 Small Ways to Save Big. This guide actually does have some really cool tips in there, even with dealing with the holidays, with reducing your finances. There's so many great ideas that you can do. And guess what? You can involve your family as well. You can go through and everyone take a page or see which ones they will do and won't do. And you can assign them to people, or someone can pick out their favorites. You can make it a creative game on saving money. So those are some ideas too. And then if you need some help, if you need assistance, you can reach out to a counselor at 800-994-3328. Don't want you stressing for the holidays. Just know that there is help out there. Now, once you got everything done and you have the holidays you've done everything you set out to do, but guess what happens after the holidays are over? Those bills start rolling in. So you want to think about the first of the year coming and those bills, and you want to think about how you're going to handle that going into the next year. We got our next caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, I applied for a credit card the other day and was denied because I don't have a credit score. What are a few ways to build my credit?
Well, if you are looking to build your credit and you don't really have a score, knowing that, I guess, is your first step. When you were denied, guess what? The moment that you applied to the credit bureaus, that's when your name and your information was entered into the credit bureau system to start keeping track of you. So now, you got one leg in the door. You just need to go the other way and get the actual credit card. And so since you were denied for that card, some things that you can do, or what we highly recommend, is that you look into getting a secured credit card. And with a secured card, typically what you're doing is you are putting down whatever value of the card. So if you got a $200, you want a $200 credit limit, you do need to have $200, and you will give that to the bank. They will use that as collateral. Now, they'll give you a credit card. You'll make your payments on each and every single month. You will be charged interest because the bank's going to make some money off of this. And you will make your payments every single month. They're going to report it to the credit bureau. You want to make sure whatever card you go with, that they will report that to the credit bureau. And once that's done, you'll start to build your score that way. Now, as you keep making payments, you make them on time each and every single month. The creditors will report that to the credit bureau. And guess what? A lot of times that creditor will give you that money back. So if you just keep that in mind, you took the extra steps, you didn't have credit, you got the security card, you got that out there, you are just ready, you got your credit, and you're watching your score now, because now you have a credit score because you have a credit card and it's reported to the credit bureau. So keep that in mind. We've talked about a lot of tips today for dealing with the holidays, for reducing your budget, keeping control of your spending. Remember, it is up to you. I want you to feel empowered to stay in control of your finances. Also, if you need help and you know someone that can benefit from the City of Chicago program where they will help you replace, repair, or just look at your furnace or your boiler, feel free to contact 301. Again, we'll be back next week. You can reach out to a counselor, 800-994-3328, or chat online at familycredit.org. Go to the website, pull off that budget guide that we've been talking about, the 100 small ways to save big and personal finances made easy. All right, so we will see you back again next week, you guys. Take care. Thanks for coming.